Hey, 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 it's Monday, and I'm Angie Rose with Angie Rose Health Coaching, and I'm here today to talk with you on our Monday Mojo, your Monday motivational video about 6 kinds of stress. So I'm probably going to read a little bit today because I want to make sure that I do it well and I don't miss what exactly the descriptions are. But I want you to think about how much stress you have in your life. Most of us can actually say we have stress. That is just the nature of the fast-paced world that we're living in. There is a little bit of stress that can actually be good for us, believe it or not, because it motivates us, it moves us, it pushes us forward to new heights, and it actually stretches us a little bit, okay? So we cannot avoid all stress. Some of it can be good, but most of us are struggling quite a bit with hardcore stress. When you ask people how you doing, they're like, stressed, I'm tired, I'm overworked, I'm this, I'm that. But usually the core of that is stress. How many of you can agree with that? You know, the good thing is that little bit of stress can actually release some of those feel-good chemicals, those feel-good hormones. They can push us in the right direction. So in other words, we need a little bit of stress, but too much stress actually has the opposite effect. And it actually can affect our mood, our sleep, and our overall health. Okay. So have you ever, I don't know if you're this person, and I'm not pointing anybody out that might be watching, but I want you to think about if you know the person or you are the person who is completely stressed out all the time. There's always something going on in your life and it feels like chronic chaos. How is that person's health? Do they get sick a lot? Are they more tired a lot? Are they crabbier a lot? Are they more overweight than other people around them? You know, because when we are chronically stressed, it absolutely affects our whole being. Okay, so I mean, obviously we know that high stress levels are linked with high blood pressure, heart disease, depression, adrenal fatigue, hormone depletion, anxiety, and of course more than that. But the truth is, none of us really want that. So today I want to talk with you about the 6 types of stress, what they are, so that you can actually figure out what kind of stress you're walking in, and so that you have the power to be able to say, I need to change this. Okay? So it's true, there are actually 6 different types of stress. And I'll tell you today, you're going to probably notice a little overlap in some kinds of stress can actually cause other types of stress, which can lead to other types of stress and make them worse. Okay. So let's talk about these 6 types of stress and what you should be looking for. Okay. So number 1 is acute stress. Acute stress. This is the most common form of stress, and it's usually a response to an immediate challenge. Something just came up. Oh my gosh, now I've got to deal with this, how this is going to look. Something bad or even something good. This could be like public speaking, dealing with a one-time difficult situation, or even taking a test. This could be acute stress, okay? So that this can actually sometimes move us into action, make us get stuff done, make us move forward. Okay, but number 2 is what we call episodic stress, or episodic acute stress is what I should say. This is when you have a lot of acute stress in your life, like a high stress job, or when you're juggling lots of responsibilities and challenges at the same time, and it's going on and on and on. Okay, so an example of this would be having a stressful day at work, where one stressful thing happens after another, after another, after another, and you go home feeling wiped out. This is my husband. His job is stressful. There's always something happening. As soon as you fix one thing, there's another fire, then there's another fire, and there's another fire, and by the time you get home, you got nothing left, because all you've done is do fires all day long. Okay, but the truth is, guys, if this type of stress actually lasts too long, it can affect your health, okay? Because it depletes your adrenals, it raises your cortisol levels, It creates chronic fatigue and exhaustion. It does a lot of things, guys, a lot of things, okay? So you might have some acute stress that is going on, episodic acute stress that's happening every day, all day long, over and over and over again. Might be your sign that you probably got to look for a different job or figure out how to do something different, okay? Number 3 is chronic stress. This actually takes acute stress and stretches it out over a long period of time with very little break, okay? So common causes could include that difficult job, money problems, relationship problems, maybe some problems with your kiddos, etc. And this chronic stress can do a real number on your physical and mental health. You know, some things we can change, some things we can't, meaning we can't change other people, we can change jobs. Some of us feel like we can't, and I understand that depending upon where you live and what's going on. But most of us feel stuck in this chronic stress situation, so we stay in it. So it could be setting boundaries with your kids, that your kids keep taking advantage of you. They're grown, they're hard kids, they're just going through hard times in their lives. You need to say no, but you don't want to be that mama or that papa, and you just keep saying yes, and it just creates chronic stress all the time, okay? There are ways to deal with that, and it might just be you need to talk to somebody about it. Get some outside voices coming in that are not the people that are the problem, okay? Number 4 is called traumatic stress, and this occurs when something bad happens, like maybe an accident, a death, natural disaster, or even violence, okay? Traumatic stress. You've had a traumatic event happen in your life, or trauma that has been going on, and this can actually cause long-lasting and emotional and psychological effects, okay? So this is, unfortunately, this happens, and these things do go on, but this can be something that was so traumatic in your life that it just created chronic stress, okay? Number 5 is psychological stress. And this is when you experience negative thoughts, depression, hopelessness, and low self-esteem. Of course, this can be caused by trauma and chronic stress. So these things, can you see that they kind of build on top of each other? So as I said, they can kind of run into each other a little bit. And number 6 is physiological stress. And this is usually caused by physical problems like medical problems, illness, injuries, or even that traumatic stress, okay? So, you know, there's a long list there, guys, but what I would ask you is, do any of those resonate with you? Of course, you can rewind the video, you can, you know, whatever you need to do to listen to that again, because I went through them pretty quick. But, you know, the thing is, some things we have no control over. Obviously, we have no control over trauma. We have no control over accidents and negative things happening in our lives that are out of our hands. But the one thing we can control is how we handle the stress, okay? And there are some people who just handle stress a little bit better than others. There again comes back to the word resilient. They're pretty resilient. But the problem, guys, is that sometimes we allow this stress to go on way longer than what we need to by not getting help, not talking to other people, not setting boundaries and learning to say no, or just realizing it's a season and a time for change. But we get so comfortable in our uncomfortableness that we will stay right where we're at, because it's easier to be stressed out and know what's going to go on than it is to do something different, okay? But the reality of it is, you are the only one that's going to know what you need to do next. And I highly, highly recommend that if you don't know, then I would look at getting a therapist, getting a life coach, getting somebody who can help you that's outside of your four walls and your picture, to be able to take a look in and help you to steer and navigate up the stream to be able to figure out where you got to go next. Okay? There is no shame in that. And it is so important to be connected with someone, pastor, I don't know, somebody that can help you. Okay? But you also want to do this with people that you trust, people that are going to actually help you and not take what you have going on in your life and use it against you, but people who are going to speak life and health and love into your situation to help you to see with clarity. Okay? So obviously, we don't have to hold on to stress forever. We can choose how we're going to handle it, what we're going to do with it, and that we can process it. Okay? I just want to empower you today to know you are resilient, you are capable, and there are answers out there for you. Do not give up. Keep asking, keep looking, keep stepping forward, and figure out what it is that you need, my friend, in order for you to be successful. Okay? So I hope that this just encourages you, one, to recognize the type of stress in your life. Two, there probably needs to be some change in how you're handling your stress. And three, it might be a situation where you need a little more help than just you, and that's absolutely okay. All right, that's what I've got for you today for your Monday Mojo. Have an amazing week, and I'll see you next week.